We on the grind, it's game time. Light shine, all eyes on the line. Every move, every play, we define. Party lit, feeling prime. From the bench to the field, we climb. Champion rise, this our time. No fear, no limits, we prime. Bring the heat, watch it shine. This leg is wrong, we on grind. It's game time. Light shine, all eyes on the line. Every move, every play, we define. Heart be loud, feel the prime. From the bench to the field, we climb.
The college football season has ended. The NFL is on a week's hiatus, so now we get to Indiana's true passion, high school basketball tonight on the ISC Sports Network. A pleasant Tuesday evening, everybody, alongside my broadcast partner, Kristen Hazley. I'm John Natali, and we are fantastically happy, I just made up a word there, to bring you this matchup tonight. The Frontier Falcons going in to Rossville to face the Lady Hornets, and Frontier looking for a way to stop a 10-game winning streak and keep these Lady Hornets from going 19-1 on the season.
Yeah, and let's just say it flatly. Rossville is having a fantastic season. One of the top teams in that 1A class. You know, Frontier struggling a bit, 2-12 coming into this game. You know, again, Rossville on that hot streak, and it's just such a balanced and really fundamentally sound team that the Hornets have this year that it's going to be an uphill challenge for Frontier to be in this game. But, again, I think we're in for another great performance from Rossville, and we'll see if Frontier can maybe put up a fight and get them ready for the postseason.
You mentioned that record by Frontier. Not great, but, Kristen, we're at the point where we're just weeks away from the start of the second season, and that's the playoffs. I know that you're going to be on a selection show coming up here this upcoming Sunday, but it's not really playing your best basketball at this point. It's getting the chemistry, the camaraderie ready for a team. You get out these final 4 or 5 games, then you start putting the pieces together, and that's where you go into that first week on top of your game.
Yeah, and to that point, you're spot on with that timing. You know, this could almost be looked at as a quote-unquote trap game for a team like Rossville. You know, you do feel like you're in the final stretch of the season. You're playing, obviously, some really good basketball, but you said it, still another few games before the games that really matter come up. So where are you at today? And, you know, this is really going to be more a test of consistency from Rossville. Can they play at a level that they want to carry into the postseason, and can they do it night in and night out?
Welcome to our pregame show, brought to you by Dangana Funeral Home, putting family first. Tonight's game is brought to you by Healthy Communities of Clinton County, making the healthy choice the easy choice. By Mulberry Telecommunications, your local hometown fiber provider. By Rossville Consolidated Schools, achieve, learn, lead, and inspire. By the Frankfurt Eagles Post 976, people helping people. And by the Willow Creek Barn, providing a picturesque setting for the barn wedding of your dreams. Our first look brought to you by the Willow Creek Barn, where nature's beauty meets rustic elegance. You can see there head coach Sharon Miller, now in her second season, just 4-32. And they lost to Rossville 2 times last season, one in that sectional game. And you can see to the right that the Lady Hornets are just out to an incredible start. 7-0 in the Hoosier Heartland Conference, 18-1 overall, and a legend beyond legends inside the hallways of Rossville, head coach Jennifer Jacoby.
Yeah, I mean, this Rossville Hornets program is in great shape. You said it, Jennifer Jacoby at the helm, the 1991 Miss Basketball. But you talk about, again, just the even balance they have between Ava Burkle, Mallory O'Brien, Addie Gorbett, some of these players that have really come into their own. 2 of those 3 being senior class, and really, like you said, playing some good basketball, trying to see how consistent they can be. And Frontier, you know, building a little bit. Obviously, they've got a bit of a younger class, not a ton of seniors on that roster, so really trying to build some consistency for years to come.
Let's get to our keys to victory, brought to you by Tier 1 Meat Company, where every cut is elite and every customer is family. And Kristen, on paper, as you mentioned in the preset, that it looks like it's all Rossville at this point, but some 3 key things that you're looking at that could possibly keep Frontier in this thing?
Yeah, number one is limit turnovers. You know, Rossville's pressure defense is going to be no surprise to anyone in the gym tonight. You know how well they do at forcing steals, forcing turnovers, and running the other way with some of the pace they have. So for Rossville, you want to limit turnovers, that defensive pressure. Obviously key for Rossville, but on the other side, if you're Frontier, can you take care of the ball? Can you handle the pressure? And can you withstand some of that early burst that we'll see from Rossville to try and keep yourself in the game? And finally, crashing the boards. You know, rebounding on both ends is going to limit second chances. And when you're going up against someone, you know, like an Addie Gorbett that's really doing a nice job this season of kind of dominating that paint space, it becomes even more important for Frontier to try and keep that Rossville offense to a one and done.
You look at the past 40 years, it's not relatively an old matchup between Rossville and Frontier. Basically just a few years ago started playing each other. Rossville leads that series 22-10, and Frontier has lost the last 9 of 10. Go to the Midwest Conference, where the Falcons are from. 1-3, still not in last place, still fighting for a spot higher in that bracket, and they won 39-38 at home to North Newton and the Spartans to get that one victory. Last time out, Frontier lost 52-37. They were at home to DeMott Christian and the Knights, and that was a 56-31 ball game back on Thursday the 15th. And mentioned that 10-game winning streak by Rossville, won 64-26 at this very gym against the Tri-Central Trojans back on Friday, January 16th. As we get ready for the tonight's game, we'll come back with starters and 32 minutes of high school basketball. You're watching it on the ISC Sports Network.
At Wampler's Disposal and Recycling, we take pride in offering waste management for commercial and residential clients. As an industry leader, Wampler's Disposal and Recycling brings the most professional and responsive collection service in the business. Since 1948, our family-owned and operated company has provided excellent service at competitive rates. We offer container rentals as well. Our longevity in the industry is a testament to our excellent service. We serve all of Clinton, Tippecanoe, Boone, Howard, and Carroll counties. For all your waste removal needs, call Wampler Services Incorporated today. You can reach us at 765-659-3721. Visit us online at wamplerservicesinc.com.
The Willow Creek Barn has been voted the best of weddings on the Knot for 4 years running. The Willow Creek Barn has earned its reputation for a reason. With breathtaking grounds, a stunning barn, and a staff that goes above and beyond, making sure that every detail is perfect, your wedding day will be seamless, joyful, and unforgettable. From the first look to the last dance, your happily ever after starts here. To book your dream wedding, visit thewillowcreekbarn.com.
Healthy Communities of Clinton County is committed to reduce the risk factors contributing to chronic disease, including health disparities by decreasing stigma and encouraging positive changes. HCCC is here for the community with systems of care navigators, insurance assistance, prenatal classes, mental health programs, substance use prevention, and more. To help make the healthy choice the easy choice, contact us at 659-6063 or through our website, healthyclintoncounty.org.
We've all heard the question, if a tree falls in a forest, does it make a sound? Honestly, we're not sure either. But what we do know is that if it falls in your yard, it usually leaves behind an unsightly stump that you'll be stuck mowing around. At JXN Stump Solutions, we'll get rid of that stump for good, and here's the best part. We offer free estimates, so you'll know the cost before the work begins. We deliver quality work from a professional, locally owned company with a commitment to leaving your property cleaner, safer, and stump-free. Contact us today at 242-9523. At JXN Stump Solutions, we're rooted in service and driven to remove.
I brought you a present. A book.
Follow the adventures of the Ardente Dental team as they fight cavities, gum disease, and create beautiful, healthy smiles.
Inconceivable. Hello, my name is Dr. Snyder. You cause cavities. Prepare to die. Inconceivable.
To make your smile look straight and fine, our braces per month are just $1.99.
Inconceivable.
You keep using that word, I do not think it means what you think it means.
Have fun at Ardente Dental.
Back on the campus of Rossville High School, where the Lady Hornets are welcoming in the Frontier Falcons. Let's get to our starting lineups, brought to you by Ardente Dental. Healthy smiles start here. First for the Falcons, it'll be number 3, Grace Kennedy, the sophomore. The sophomore, Addison Govert, And Summer Kramer, the junior forward, number 14. Emmeline Stockmith, the sophomore center, number 21. And Kendall Bridwell, the senior guard, number 24, rounding out the top 5 for head coach Sharon Miller. And as for the Rossville Lady Hornets, we've seen it pretty much all season. Number 2, Victoria Vanderwall, the junior guard. Allie Elliott, the junior forward, number 24. Number 30, Addie Gorbett, the senior guard. 32, the fabulous freshman, Mallory O'Brien. And then number 34, Ava Burkle, the senior forward, who does a little bit of everything for this Lady Hornets squad.
Yeah, Kendall Bridwell this evening, and being the point guard. You know, a senior, so probably has a good amount of experience, especially against this Rossville team, but it's going to be really important to keep an eye on her and see how she handles the ball, especially early on against the Rossville pressure.
And that's something to look at, Kristen, is you only have a senior for Frontier, and then after that, one junior. The rest of the squad, all sophomore and freshmen. So there's that budding point. There's going to be a learning process for a lot of these young players, but that's how you build. That's how you build that chemistry. That's how you build that camaraderie. They have a few couple sport athletes. Some play softball, some play volleyball on this team, and the more connectivity you get, the better off you're going to be later down the line.
Absolutely. It's a great point, John. You know, we see that a lot this year. Some teams that may have been blown out in some big games, but that's something they build on. You know, I just had a Delaware County championship game where these Delta seniors remembered being blown out in the championship game previously, and really they won the last 2 years after that.
How about our officials? Brought to you by Wampler's Disposal Service and Recycling, where recycling makes sense. It'll be Brandon Boo, Dennis Aldridge, and Thomas Hansing. And just a note, if you watch any of the games on ISC Sports Network and it's something that you find interesting, whether it's on the diamond, whether it's on the hardwood, whether it's on a football field, wherever it might be, there's a shortage of officials, umpires, and referees in our sports across the state of Indiana. So if it's something you want to get involved in, stay close to the sport, please go to ihsaa.org. You can sign up. They'll train you. You'll get some run in whatever sport it is, and you can get to that stage, because without these people, these kids do not get a chance to play. Tonight's game brought to you by Frankfurt Eagles Post 976, serving the community since 1905. With over 900 members locally, the Frankfurt Eagles offer something for everyone. For more info on who they are and what they do, please visit FOE.com or stop by 408 North Main Street in Frankfurt. Center circle, and we're underway in Rossville. Here's Mallory O'Brien down low already, and O'Brien evaded the traffic. Good pass from Burkle on that left wing. Rossville out to an early 2-0 lead.
Yeah, Mallory O'Brien just incredibly shifty as an athlete in general, whether she's on the ball or you saw there down on the post. Just excellent at creating space for herself.
Vanderwall going to try it from the corner. Off the back iron, no good. Ball on the ground. And Gorbett got a piece of it. Vanderwall thought about it. Now up top. And on the right wing is O'Brien. Here's a 3-ball. Off the front iron, no good, but chased down by Elliott. Another possession for the Lady Hornets.
Doing a nice job cleaning off offensively on the board so far.
On the skip pass, Elliott going to try it. Front iron, no good. Ball tapped around. And one of the easiest baskets you were going to get from Addie Gorbett. She missed them both. And Grace Kennedy comes away with the basketball.
Chuckling a little bit to herself. She knows she should have had that one, but Frontier doing a nice job of finally cleaning up the boards there. Kept Rossville off the points and scoreboards on that one. Let's see what they can do offensively.
Going to swing it. Here's Govert. Mid-range jumper. And just got the backboard out of bounds, and it'll stay with the Falcons.
Now, is that, you have to forgive me, is that a new brace on Ava Burkle's shoulder there? I can't remember if we've seen that before on her.
I'm not sure.
The big black brace, yeah.
It doesn't look like it's been there before, but.
Yeah, I know it's a shoulder brace, obviously. I had to wear one similar in college when, I dislocated shoulder. So just something to keep an eye on. She doesn't, look any less aggressive or anything like that, but wasn't sure on that if that was maybe a recently sustained injury.
It was a great look to Allie Elliott down low, but she couldn't finish at the rim. Good 1-2 basketball there and off the glass.
Love it. Maya Kremer there on the inside, and I love it. When you get 2 feet inside of the paint, good things happen. Frontier doing a nice job of taking advantage of the high percentage look.
The one benefit that Burkle has, she's a true lefty, but we'll see if that right shoulder does affect her anything in this one.
She's pretty tough in general from what we've seen this season. So, although, I do know, especially kind of in basketball, those do limit restriction a bit. They're pretty flexible. That being said, she's not necessarily, she can shoot the ball from behind the arc, but really more of that interior anchor for the Hornets.
Mallory O'Brien got in the paint, and she's got a quick 4, and she grabs a rebound. Working that left wing. Now here's Burkle with it. Skip pass to Vanderwall, and she'll bring it top of the circle. Vanderwall tries to shimmy shake, can't do it. Here's Elliott in the corner, down low. Gorbett with it, trying to go up strong. And Burkle all the way to the cups, not going to get the basket, but she'll go to the line for 2 shots.
Yeah, and it's excellent patience there by the Rossville offense. You see Frontier in that 2-3 zone. That's why we saw a lot of those perimeter looks early on from Rossville. That time it's Burkle trying to drive into that zone and is able to draw the contact.
Tonight's game brought to you by Dangan Funeral Home, with locations in Frankfort, Flora, Mulberry, and Rossville. The compassionate and experienced staff at Dangan Funeral Home are dedicated to providing a loving and genuine environment for you to honor your loved ones. For more info on their services and community involvement, please visit danganda.com. Dangan Funeral Homes, where we put family first. Burkle gets 2 of the free throws, and it's 6-2 early in the first quarter. Grace Kennedy going to pull it back, guarded by O'Brien. Needs some help, ran into traffic. And on the kick down low to Kramer, she got tangled up with Gorbett and will have her first jump ball. Possession will stay with Frontier.
Maya Kramer, just a freshman for Frontier, having to go toe-to-toe with Addie Gorbett in the paint, the senior from Rossville. Not an easy assignment, but again, one that she will undoubtedly learn a lot from going up against someone like Gorbett.
Turnover. Gorbett got a hand on it and poked it right back to Burkle underneath. Vanderwall hit the bottom of the backboard. Elliott came up with the basketball and then into the hands of Govert. 6-2. That left wing, and that ball stripped away from O'Brien. She has Govert to beat and couldn't get it. That's about the 4th time that Rossville's been right under the basket, just can't put it in the cylinder.
Yeah, and thankfully for Frontier, they're hanging in there. But Mallory O'Brien, whether she is on the ball, defensively, she is also just as active. I mean, averaging over 2.5 steals per game, and she just does not stop, whether she's on the offensive end or the defensive end.
Going to Gorbett a second time. And now the skip pass. Elliott going to try it from the wing and cashes it in. Allie Elliott shoots it at 29% from behind the arc. And it's 9-2. Traveling on Frontier.
It's a confident start for Rossville. They're getting the ball inside. You mentioned it, missing a few little hoppers, but still obviously in the front seat here as far as the scoreboard goes, but you like to see Allie Elliott, confident stroke from behind the arc that time. Again, mixing it up, trying to make sure all effects of that offense are good to go going into postseason.
Elliott tried the quick post move to Gorbett. It's knocked out of bounds, and it's going to stay with Rossville. So we got our first look at Adeline Farley, the freshman forward. Got to get it in. And finally, Elliott got the basketball. Here's a corner. O'Brien, back iron no good. Gorbett with the backside rebound. Farley perimeter jumper and smooth stroke. Adeline Farley into the ball game for 10 seconds. She scored in 5.
I was getting ready to say, I mean, she has been so fun to watch. Another freshman that's come a long way. Beginning of the season, wasn't getting a ton of minutes, but now you see one of the first players off the bench into this lineup for Coach Jacoby, and I think that's one of the reasons right there. You just saw high basketball IQ, knows how to get herself open, and can really knock down any jumper from the court.
Here's Frontier. That off the backboard, no good. Fight for the ball. Gorbett came away with it, and O'Brien just couldn't collect it. So it will stay with Frontier. The lead the largest it's been at 9, 11-2. On the inbound, that's Govert. Kennedy looking for help, and she'll bring up back up top to the logo, working against O'Brien. Working a two-man. Here's Kennedy. Thought about it and tried to fit it into a tight window, and Burkle came away with the basketball.
Yeah, it's a right idea. Just the height and really veracity of that Rossville defense makes you think twice. And that's probably why, coming down the other way off of turnovers, again, it's the freshman Mallory O'Brien able to drain it from behind the arc.
O'Brien already at 7, came into this one just over 13 a night. So she's over half of her average. That ball off the side of the rim, no good. Burkle with the rebound. Here come the Lady Hornets. Farley working it, and that was a tough pass to Addie Gorbett, but was tipped by Frontier, so it'll stay with the Lady Hornets. And we got our first look at Autumn Pascal, the senior guard.
And again, you know, we've seen this Rossville team and throughout the season, whether it's Pascal, whether it's Farley coming in, you know, we'll see probably Cadence Roby at some point, but they're just very deep. You know, there's not a large drop off between that starting 5 and probably the next 3 or 4 players off the bench, which allows them to play some high-paced defense, like you see them going to the trap defense there a little bit. Otherwise, they can kind of sink off you on that man-to-man.
Kramer was on the ground. She was able to get it to Govert, went to the hole, and she's going to go line for 2 shots. Tonight's game brought to you by Healthy Communities of Clinton County, offering free navigation services for all pregnant women. A licensed nurse is available to help you with free pregnancy tests and prenatal vitamins, insurance assistance, prenatal appointment assistance, smoking or vaping cessation, breastfeeding, labor, delivery, safe sleep, car seat, and newborn care education. Call Libby at 765-659-6063 for more information. Govert trying to split the pair, and she does. First points for the sophomore guard, Addison Govert. And that foul was on Addie Gorbett. That's Pascal right in front of the three-point line.
It's a good, patient find again in the zone. Those corners are typically open if you can move it quick enough, and right now Rossville just exploiting that all over the place.
That's a turnover. Summer Kramer will come back in. And you mentioned Kristen. Christodamus as Cadence Roby now in for the Hornets. Right wing. And she's got the basketball, needs some help. Here's Burkle all the way to the cup, strong with that left hand. And Ava Burkle will go to the line for the three-point play.
Well, powerful take to the rim. Nothing new for us to see from Ava Burkle. Well done, and you mentioned it, that dominant left hand. A lot of defenders aren't necessarily prepared for that, but she can really put the ball on the floor and still go up with a lot of power.
That's a second foul on Grace Kennedy. And that sends Burkle to the free throw line. 60%. One of the lone dents in her game, but she sinks that one calmly. So Burkle's got 5 and leads 16, 19-3. 90 seconds left. Here's a steal. Pascal right down Main Street. Good jump stop and able to put it in. Heads up play from Autumn Pascal. She's got 4.
Yeah, really well done. Coach Jacoby describes her as her energy guard, and you can kind of see why right there with the steal. Goes the other way. Beautiful pump fake. Just great IQ there. Let the defenders go by and finish the easy layup.
Foul's on Addie Gorbett. That's her second team foul. And that'll bring back in Victoria Vanderwall. Give Addie Gorbett a chair.
And that's probably something, you know, we talked about getting yourself ready for the postseason. That's something right there. Coach Jacoby's going to say, hey, this cannot happen. We cannot have Addie Gorbett getting 2 fouls in the first quarter. When we get down into, you know, some sectional championships, regional games, semi-state, etc., however far this team will take them, they'll need to keep those big 3 players out of foul trouble.
Attention all engaged couples. Discover why the Willow Creek Barn has been voted the Knott's Best of Weddings for 4 years in a row. Nestled just outside of Frankfort, the venue offers stunning indoor and outdoor ceremony options with breathtaking photo opportunities to provide the perfect backdrop for your dream barn wedding. To start planning your unforgettable day, visit thewillowcreekbarn.com. John Natali, Kristen Hazley, Elijah Mash, Sam Wall. Gentlemen, who's on the camera tonight? Is it Tony Stewart? Who's on camera? That's what, all right, see? Justin Eckenberger. Fantastic. Thank you, Justin. Got a great team with you tonight. Happy to be here. Indiana, sort of happy today. After what happened last night, the Indiana Hoosiers, not just winning a football championship, I thought it was a pretty cool stat, is that the only team in college history to have a basketball title and football title with both teams going undefeated.
Undefeated, yeah.
And 50 years apart.
That's pretty, yeah. Sports are cool, one.
Like, a little bit.
You know, let's just put that out. They're always very cool things. And obviously in the state of Indiana, you know, a lot of emotional ties for people. I technically graduated with an IU degree, although never grew up as a big IU football fan, so I won't bandwagon myself on this one.
Do you want to tell the listening audience who you follow?
No, but I will tell this story. The best that I can relate it to is my dad played basketball at Butler University growing up in the 80s, and so I grew up in Indianapolis going to all of those games. And you know, the best thing I can relate it to is when Butler made those back-to-back trips to the Final Four, and you know, something you never thought you would see, especially if you were someone like my dad that played there in the 80s. You never would have imagined you'd see Butler playing for a national championship, and it seems to me that's how a lot of IU fans feel today, so I can recognize the joy.
The Brad Stevens years.
Mm-hmm.
Gordon Hayward had a nice NBA career. And Rossville up by 20. Farley straight away and canned it.
And again, how dangerous is it to have someone like Adeline Farley, especially in this postseason? Comes in, knocks down her first 2 shots. Someone that just can really give you that confidence shooting from the field.
After the first quarter, the Lady Hornets hold the visiting Frontier Falcons to 3 points while they gather 26. We'll have 8 more minutes of basketball coming up in the first half. Hornets over the Falcons, 26-3 on the ISC Sports Network.
Frankfort Eagles 976, serving with the community since 1905. With over 900 members locally, Frankfort Eagles offers something for everyone. Golf leagues, bingo, concerts, kid parties, cookouts, and more. For more information on who we are and what we do, visit FOE.com or stop by Frankfort Eagles at 408 North Main Street, Frankfort, Indiana.
In this town, game day starts long before kickoff. It's the work behind the scenes that makes champions. At Tier 1 Meat Company, we prep with the same focus, discipline, and pride as the hometown heroes we feed. From our block to your block, fuel every victory. Tier 1 Meat Company. Mission, feed the fans. Standard, champion quality. Scan the QR code for a game day upgrade.
Back on the campus of Rossville High School, where the Lady Hornets have jumped out to a 23-point advantage against the visiting Falcons of Frontier.
It's scary to me how easily they scored that 26 points, you know.
So casual,
so
right?
A couple confident 3-point shots, just simple stuff, moving the ball around that zone, easy entry passes, and just solid looks. I mean, you know, we asked the question beginning of the game, are they playing their best and are they doing it consistently? And at least for one quarter, I'd say yes. We'll see how the next 3 go, but I have a feeling they'll be in pretty good shape.
Everybody out there from the starting lineup except for Roby and Farley. This is the squad that finished the first quarter out as Elliott tries it. In and out, no good. Backside rebound. And that's Addie Gorbett.
Yeah,
that's
Gorbett.
her first points.
Yeah, I mean, really just one of those senior leaders for this Rossville team. You know, almost a stretch forward, if you will, but really patrols those boards on the back.
Farley on the steal and got it to go. Ellen Farley ties a team lead with O'Brien.
Yeah.
The lead is 27.
Farley is almost like a little mini O'Brien. I feel like, after that steal and take to the rim, she's tall enough that she has the size to be, a bit of an inside presence, but at the same time, quick enough and agile enough on the defensive end to really cause some havoc.
Already 6 Rossville Lady Hornets in the scoring side of the scorebook. That's Elliott caught in some traffic. And good entry pass to Gorbett. But she's going to pick up her 3rd foul on the push.
Yeah, interesting there. Probably just down low, banging a little bit. Too much, trying to find that open position. And, yeah, she'll take a seat. Smart decision there. But you see Jennifer Jacoby right away kind of, hey, let's have a little chat about this. Because, again, one of those things you do not want to be up against in the postseason.
Jennifer Jacoby is very Kurt Signetti-like. They're going to give you everything. She will give you everything for 32 minutes, whereas Signetti has no facial expression throughout an entire game.
Yeah, and Jennifer Jacoby, just a legend. It's funny, I've been, we've been doing a ton of basketball, obviously, this year, and I had the pleasure of being at the Ben Davis gym on Saturday afternoon and looking at some of the names up in those, the Hall of Fame, whether it's Coach Benj or Tierra Goss, or it goes all the way back to, Shira Eli, who played at Tennessee for Coach Pat Summit. But Jacoby is another one of those, graduated in 1991, the 91 Miss Basketball, and, played in what was basically the first women's professional league before the WNBA, but someone that we love still having in our sport, and obviously a great mind of the game. And you don't have to look too far to find those in Indiana.
Also part of that 94 Purdue Boilermakers Final Four team is O'Brien. She's the first in double digits with 10, and now that lead 30.
It has been just impressive to watch the growth of Mallory O'Brien. She picks it off again. A beautiful Euro step. Beginning the season, we knew she'd be good, right? We saw her. She started. She won that starting point guard position, had really controlled the team, but the confidence that she's had, whether it's going into the paint there, taking the ball, taking on a post player, or pulling up for a good open shot, it just feels like she has gained so much confidence throughout this Rossville Hornets run.
Rossville with 5 quick touchdowns in the first half. O'Brien going to try it again off the side of the iron. And that ball tipped around, but into the hands of Farley, going up strong, missed it, offensive rebound, and she puts it back in. She's got 9.
How about that? Coming off the bench, already 9 points before halftime. But that's the depth of this team. They could have just about any player go off for double digits on any given night.
Here's a 3-ball. Back iron no good by Govert. And we're going to go the other way. Tonight's game brought to you by Tier 1 Meat Co., where they take pride in delivering locally sourced premium beef and pork, the kind of meat that honors the land, respects the craft, and fuels families with real flavor. From custom processing to mission ready catering, they bring the firepower to every meal and every moment. Founded by vets, every cut is elite, and every customer is family. Step into Tier 1 at 128 West Catherine Street in Flora, or visit them online at tier1meatco.com.
I like the switch up there. Frontier going to the 1-3-1 defense. So really trying to trap some of those shooters on the outside, out on the perimeter. The danger of doing that against a team like Rossville is they move the ball so quickly and confidently that they will switch it really quick on you and find an open layup. But ideally, you love to see the fight from Frontier here and trying a little bit of a different defensive wrinkle.
Frontier doing everything they can to try to get the ball down low. They got Gorbett into foul trouble, and if they can do the same with Burkle and or Allie Elliott and send those players to the bench, maybe they can get it back into the scoring column. Gonna have a jump ball, and they'll stay with Frontier. Grace Kennedy.
And we saw
I should say Maya Kramer. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no,
Maya Kramer with the basket, and Govert's got one.
Yeah, I was going to say that was who they were able to find. Kramer finding a little bit of opening space in the paint. They did have a few good looks at that. Unfortunately, against a team like Rossville, it becomes really predictable as you move the ball around the perimeter, especially if you don't do it with pace. So I think the inability to kind of rotate that ball has led them away from being able to find the easy entry pass.
Here's a skip pass. Good look down low from Vanderwall to Burkle. And Burkle's now got 9. And the lead is 36. 4:06 left in the second quarter.
Vanderwall, another one of those starting juniors on this team. And, you see there just the vision. She's a great accompanying piece to the big three of Rossville.
Tonight's game brought to you by Rossville Schools. At Rossville, they rank #1 in safety, lead the county in academics, and have achieved remarkable success in the athletic, agricultural, and fine arts programs. Come see why Rossville Schools is #1 across the board in and around the community. Visit rcsd.k12.in.us for more info or call us at 765-379-2990 and set up an on-site visit. O'Brien rattled it out, looking for the wing three. 39-3. Falcons looking for their first points of the second quarter. Here's Nora Bell. Tried to split the defense. Pascal was there off the back heel of Bell, and here come the Lady Hornets. That's O'Brien. Good look down low to Roby, and got it to go off the rubber rim.
And I like the aggressiveness from Nora Bell for Frontier on the other end, trying to take on those two top defenders there for Rossville, but really got to use the screen there. She does it again, just dribbling into both defenders. You know, it looks like it's Maya Kramer coming up to try and give her a screen, and obviously don't know how Rossville will play that. You know, could go under, could go over, could hedge it, all those different things, but you don't know until you use the screen, John. So really trying to get that offense going.
That ball off the front of the iron. Burkle comes away with it. Numbers for Rossville. Good look to Pascal on the breakout, and she puts it in with the left. Autumn Pascal with 6.
Burkle already averaging almost 3 assists per game, but that's one of the reasons why. She's comfortable running the court with the ball at her hands and able to just find the easy passes in transition.
That ball all over the court. Finally, Kramer gets up with it, but back on the ground, and here comes Mallory O'Brien. Pascal going to try it. Off the backside iron, no good. Burkle with another rebound, and she missed the bunny. Fighting for the rebound.
Burkle just struggling a little bit, trying to finish some of those underneath the hoop. It's a great transition set there by Rossville, carrying down, finding Pascal for the open look in rhythm. Those are ones that definitely want to be knocking down, but that's a good shot selection for Rossville in transition.
O'Brien, the long outlet to Vanderwall, into the paint, and it got stripped away. Victoria Vanderwall picked up the foul. I think she took a swipe on that from Kramer. Try to strip away that basketball.
I mean, credit Frontier there. You know, this zone, there it is, shooting their way out of it.
Kendall Bridwell with the triple. There's the first 3 points of the quarter. Roby going to try it. Off the backboard, no good. Here's O'Brien with it. Long backside rebound. Roby again, tried to fit it into a tight window. Pascal just muscles the ball away and puts it back up for 2. Autumn Pascal came into this one just under 2 points a night, and she's got 8.
Yeah, that one was actually Vanderwall, but a good take nonetheless.
Farley from distance, front iron no good, grazed it. She got the long offensive rebound. Lead 37. That's Ava Spear into the contest, number 20. Here's Roby with it. Vanderwall in the post. Good up and under move, and couldn't get it to go.
I mean, all in all, Frontier's zone doing a nice job of really making things congested in the paint when they're able to insert it down low. That time it was Maya Kremer doing a nice job using her full length to kind of get some hands on that pass.
I apologize on that last exchange. I thought it was Pascal, but my partner Kristen Hazley had it right. It was Victoria Vanderwall, so she's in the books. Long three.
Woo. Banks open. In your defense, though, John, I do believe that Tori Vanderwall had a bit of a color change on the hair, so can understand the confusion. It's a little darker than we're used to seeing.
Gotcha.
Things your girl co-host will notice.
That's right, that L'Oreal hair paint coming to work.
Someone get her signed up for the NIL deal.
Pascal got tied up with Bridwell on the jump ball, but it will remain Rossville basketball up 40. 10 seconds left. Spear going to try it and left it really long. Kramer's got to go. Gets it up and leaves it short. We have 16 minutes in the books, and Rossville has jumped out to a 40-point advantage against the visiting Frontier Falcons. We'll take a quick break. When we come back, we'll have some first half analysis right here on the IC Sports Network.
If you haven't signed up for Mintel Fiber Optic Internet from Mulberry Telecommunications, then you're missing out. We have various packages to choose from and speeds up to a gig. Not to mention each package includes a Wi-Fi 6 wireless router and access to our Mintel Smart Home app, giving you complete control of your network backed by our award-winning customer service. Go ahead and dance till your heart's content in whatever reality you want, even if it's virtual. Mulberry Telecommunications offering the best gig in town. Sign up today at Mintel.net and experience the Mintel difference.
Day & Ginda Funeral Home, proudly putting family first, strives to care and honor the families of Clinton and Carroll County in ways that share the loved one's story. In our effort to serve your family at the highest of quality, we have added our own crematories, one for your loved one and another crematory for your furry family members. Contact us for information on how we can serve your family. Day & Ginda Funeral Home, putting family first.
The Willow Creek Barn has been voted the best of weddings on the Knot for 4 years running. The Willow Creek Barn has earned its reputation for a reason. With breathtaking grounds, a stunning barn, and a staff that goes above and beyond, making sure that every detail is perfect, your wedding day will be seamless, joyful, and unforgettable. From the first look to the last dance, your happily ever after starts here. To book your dream wedding, visit thewillowcreekbarn.com. At Mulberry Telecommunications, it doesn't matter whether you play from home, learn from home, or work from home. We have you covered with fiber-fast internet. Whether you video chat to stay connected with friends and family, or operate a small business, you can do so with the reliability that Mulberry Telecommunications fiber internet provides. From streaming video to regular web surfing, the possibilities really are endless. And that's a reason for all of us to celebrate. Packages start at just $49.95. Visit Mintel.net to sign up today.
Welcome to Trinity Hope Center. Here we are actively engaged in our recovery community with a multitude of activities including peer recovery coaching, a full computer lab, grief groups, relapse prevention, pre- and postnatal support group, educational workshops for family members with addicted loved ones, expungent workshops, parent cafes, Saturday pro-social activities, recovery walk club, book club, and even video game nights. For more information, give us a call at 765-250-1845.
Mulberry Telecommunications offers high-speed fiber optic internet, streaming TV, and telephone solutions. They're a local telecommunications cooperative that has been serving Clinton and Tippecanoe counties for over 120 years. And this year, they're expanding the services to the town of Rossville. To learn how to sign up, visit mintel.net/Rossville. Welcome to our halftime show, brought to you by Wampler's Disposal Service and Recycling. Wampler's is a place where recycling always makes sense. Please call Wampler's at 659-3721 for all your trash, recycling, and scrap needs. Wampler's Disposal Service and Recycling, family-owned since 1948. Kristen, it's hard to, when you see a team up 40, you still have 16 minutes of basketball left. The Falcons are clearly struggling on the offensive end. However, what we've seen from Frontier, even though the Hornets, the balanced scoring, everybody who you think should be scoring is scoring, they have played hard for those 16 minutes.
No doubt about it. I mean, it would be really easy for a lot of teams to fold at this point. I feel like they were going ahead. They were still moving the ball around. They were still trying to find those inside entry passes. They weren't just giving, Rossville points. Every shot was contested. Every rebound when they were in position was contested. You can appreciate that from a coaching, from a fan perspective, that the Falcons haven't just quite given up. You know, they still want to play a game, still want to get better, and that's the most important thing I think from a coaching perspective about this Frontier team. Is you see that it's a team together and they don't want to give up.
Kirsten, I want to get your thoughts on the first half, presented by the Willow Creek Barn, where nature's beauty meets rustic elegance. Again, it's 40 points. That's at least 20 possessions that you have to get back into this one. But what we saw a little bit of was the Falcons getting underneath, just not able to finish. The height advantage clearly is in favor of Rossville, but they have had some chances going down low and seeing if they can exploit that. And they've gotten Corbett into foul trouble, so if they can keep continuing to go to that well, who knows?
Right, and it's a great point. When they've been able to get the ball into the post, you know, you've seen some nice things from, you know, both the Kramers. You know, Grace Kennedy has tried to get open a little bit as well, but like you said, it's the pressure defensively that the Hornets put on you, and it's just such a mismatch in terms of pace that Frontier is just not confident in moving the ball quite quick enough to find some of those early entry passes where they have been successful. And, you know, with that being said, though, again, it goes back to they're not really sloppy turnovers. You know, they're steals that are being forced by Rossville and just not necessarily, you know, the highest level, highest shot selection, you know, you might say. But they're doing what they can with what they can. And you said it, having some success down low, and that's definitely a bright spot for Frontier.
We'll take another quick break. We come back, we'll have some first half highlights. Hornets up 48-8 against Frontier Falcons on the ISC Sports Network.
In this town, game day starts long before kickoff. It's the work behind the scenes that makes champions. At Tier 1 Meat Company, we prep with the same focus, discipline, and pride as the hometown heroes we feed. From our block to your block, fuel every victory. Tier 1 Meat Company. Mission, feed the fans. Standard, champion quality. Scan the QR code for a game day upgrade.
The Willow Creek Barn has been voted the best of weddings on the knot for 4 years running. The Willow Creek Barn has earned its reputation for a reason. With breathtaking grounds, a stunning barn, and a staff that goes above and beyond, making sure that every detail is perfect, your wedding day will be seamless, joyful, and unforgettable. From the first look to the last dance, your happily ever after starts here. To book your dream wedding, visit thewillowcreekbarn.com.
Healthy Communities of Clinton County is committed to reduce the risk factors contributing to chronic disease, including health disparities by decreasing stigma and encouraging positive changes. HCCC is here for the community with systems of care navigators, insurance assistance, prenatal classes, mental health programs, substance use prevention, and more. To help make the healthy choice the easy choice, contact us at 659-6063 or through our website, healthyclintoncounty.org.
Rossville and Frontier on the IC Sports Network. Let's get to our first half highlights presented by Mulberry Telecommunications, the best gig in town.
Now, obviously, going to see a lot of Rossville here. This was the first points of the game, off to a hot start, and it didn't really slow down. And, you know, one thing that we really have to take a look at in these highlights is just the depth. You know, there you see one of the bright spots for Frontier, a little pull-up jumper by Maya Kramer. And then the other way, it's just domination in the paint, whether it's Ava Burkle or Addie Gorbett, they are just so good at sharing the ball, finding the open look. They can shoot it from behind the arc. They can easily work it inside as well. There you see, looks like, yep, that one was Gorbett going up and down with it easy. And really just, you know, a team that's going to be tough to stop. The freshman Mallory O'Brien got it going from behind the arc, and then, you know, next trip down the court, it was a quick Euro step 1-2, easy finish for her. But overall, it's just been a very balanced, you know, you see them sharing the ball here. Great early pass into Burkle, easy finish for her. They're just making it all look very easy, whether in transition again, the right passes. Again, we talked about the assist totals that Ava Burkle's been able to rack up this year. And then finally, there's Victoria Vanderwall getting in on the action as well. But overall, just an extremely dominant performance by the Rossville Hornets offense. And, I mean, you wouldn't even say it's been that dominant on defense. They've just done a nice job of limiting Frontier to almost a one-and-done look.
8 Lady Hornets have seen the court. 7 have been in scoring book right now. It's the lone Ava Spear, the sophomore forward, but I'm sure she'll see some playing time in the second half. We come back, we'll have 16 more minutes of basketball. The Rossville Hornets up 40 against Frontier Falcons, 48-8 on the ISC Sports Network.
The Willow Creek Barn has been voted the best of weddings on the Knot for 4 years running. The Willow Creek Barn has earned its reputation for a reason. With breathtaking grounds, a stunning barn, and a staff that goes above and beyond, making sure that every detail is perfect, your wedding day will be seamless, joyful, and unforgettable. From the first look to the last dance, your happily ever after starts here. To book your dream wedding, visit thewillowcreekbarn.com.
Frankfurt Eagles 976 has bingo every Wednesday night. Early birds beginning at 6 p.m. and regular bingo starting at 7 p.m. Packets are $25 and includes every game you need to play. They also have Saturday bingo the first Saturday of every month, with early birds starting at 4 p.m. and regular bingo starting at 5 p.m. Big game payouts each game with 3 to 4 chances to win different jackpot games each day. Great for individuals or groups because everyone enjoys winning lots of money. You must be 18 years or older to play.
Some see a volleyball match. We see a student athlete learning how to be poised under pressure. Some see a high school football stadium. We see the one place where the whole community comes together. Proud to keep education in front of athletics since 1903.
Third quarter, presented by JXN Stump Solutions, rooted in service, driven to remove. Falcons start off with the basketball, find themselves down 40 to the Lady Hornets. Here's Bridwell. She hit a triple in that first half. Here's a skip pass. Here's Bridwell, and she throws it away. Oh, it got tipped. Okay.
Yeah, I think that's why the pass was off. She got a nice tip, Rossville did on that. But you love the discipline, though. It's very good ball movement.
Bridwell tried it, shaved the front of the iron. And a long rebound to Vanderwall. But it looks like there might be a foul, or it's going to stay with Frontier. It'll just out of bounds. Govert will do the honors.
And again, you know, the score looks very lopsided, obviously, but when you look at what the Falcons have been able to do offensively, they moved the ball pretty well. You know, they haven't had a lot of thrown away or sloppy turnovers. Like we mentioned at halftime, Rossville's done a nice job of forcing them either into bad shots or steals, to be honest. They're not making a lot of bad passes and then just have been taking care, again, of work on the offensive end.
Ava Burkle now with a dozen, pacing the way for the Hornets with Mallory O'Brien. And the lead is 43.
This is what I'm talking about. I mean, the fundamentals are very good, you know, for Coach Sharon Miller here. You look at the passing on point, very smart. There's the pause there. You know, each player almost gets in that triple threat position when they do catch the ball. It's just a difference in speed, a difference in talent a little bit. But, again, you're building the right cornerstones here for this program to be successful in the future.
Long rebound into the hands of Kennedy, and she'll control the offense. Left wing. That's Kramer with it. And now back up top to Kennedy. Will be a running clock from this point out once that lead hits 35. Trying to space around. Here's Bridwell going to try it, and can it. Kendall Bridwell with her second triple of the night.
Here you go, the senior point guard that time. She's had some good looks, obviously made one in the first half. 1 for 2 in the second half so far, but you like that shot from her.
Orbit lost the basketball. We'll have a tie-up. And it'll stay with Rossville. Mulberry Telecommunications offers high-speed fiber optic internet, streaming TV, and telephone solutions. A local telecommunications cooperative that has been serving Clinton and Tippecanoe counties for over 120 years. And this year, expanding the services to Rossville. To learn how to sign up, visit mintel.net/Rossville.
Emmeline Stockman there on the inbounds, just stuffing Gorbit a little bit there. Got the jump ball call, but that was all ball right there from Stockman coming on into the paint.
Summer Kramer with a nice perimeter jumper, but in the post, Addie Gorbit gets her 4th point, and the lead back to 40, 51-11. Frontier working the top of that arc. Here's a 3-ball. Back iron no good. But a good box out by Victoria Vanderwall.
Yeah, it's a great box out by Vanderwall on the backside, and those are the little margins where you can really tell the difference as it's Vanderwall fighting for position even on the offensive board, or excuse me, on the defensive boards as well as the offensive board, but she's just one of those scrappy players that makes the right plays at the right time.
Tried to fit it into a tight window. Down to Gorbit and the steal by the Falcons.
Announcer's curse. That's my bad, Tori.
3-ball from the corner. Left it long. And off of Summer Kramer. Tired of unsightly tree stumps ruining your yard? Let us take care of it. JXN Stump Solutions got the equipment and experience to get the job done right, offering 3 tiers of service that will rejuvenate your yard, all at competitive, budget-friendly rates. Call 765-242-9523 for a free estimate. JXN Stump Solutions, rooted in service, driven to remove. Victoria Vanderwall went up strong. She got fouled.
And obviously, if you're, Coach Jennifer Jacoby here, you're trying to treat every trip down the court almost like a different postseason situation. Whether it's this last one I pick out, Gorbit did a nice job grabbing the rebound, finding exactly where she wanted to go with it back outside. Okay, then you reset. Just trying to hone in on these little tiny things that, obviously don't seem like a big deal in a game like this, but when you get into the postseason can mean the difference between a win and a loss.
Vanderwall spins it in. We get our first look at Elise Horde, number 33 for the Falcons, freshman forward. Lead 41, 54-13. Top of the arc, that's Kendall Bridwell pacing the way for the Falcons in the paint. And nice move from Maya Kramer. She gets her 4th point.
Yeah, Bridwell fit that thing through. A great pass and well done there on the block for Kramer to finish.
Elliott working against Bridwell. Now Burkle. Got it down to Gorbit. She retreats. Got the basket now. Burkle from the left wing. Skip past to Farley. Thought about it. Pulls it back up. Burkle on a dribble drive. The kick out. 3-ball. Got it.
Man, and it's such a good defensive possession as well by the Falcons there. They do a nice job of containing the drive. It's just Rossville's that good that drive, Burkle's going to kick it for the open 3. They did a nice job defending, but that's the one way to beat that zone they're in, and Rossville's doing it.
With that 3, Farley becomes the 3rd Hornet with a dozen, joining Burkle and O'Brien. On and Pascal returns. Lead is 42, 57-15. Minute 50 left in the 3rd quarter. Burkle on a dribble drive, the kick out. Farley thought about it. Now Gorbit, skip pass. Pascal off the front iron, no good, but on the backside rebound. Gorbit got it. She's up to 6.
Yeah, Gorbit again just patrolling the backside of that rim. Easy for her to elevate, put it right back. Honestly, Rossville, this offense having a lesson in patience. They know there's a good shot against this defense. They just have to be patient and working enough until they find it.
Good recovery defense by Elise Horde on the kick out by Pascal, but she picked up her dribble and took a few too many steps. So the ball will stay with Rossville on the baseline. Tonight's game brought to you by Frankfurt Eagles Post 976, serving the community since 1905 with over 900 members locally. Frankfurt Eagles offer something for everyone. For more info on who they are and what they do, please visit FOE.com or stop by 408 North Main Street in Frankfurt. Off the back iron, no good, but good look from Roby. Found Mallory O'Brien in space, and O'Brien now pacing the way with 14.
And that's just the impressive thing as Roby gets the steal as well. I mean, Roby is your 6th, 7th player off the bench, right? And she comes right in. There's no drop-off in the offense. She's got the same ability to read the play as anyone else on the court, makes the right play, and then goes back down and makes a steal on the defensive end. And that's the kind of depth that wins championships, when you can put in your 8th player and trust that she's going to run your offense and work hard for you on defense.
On the dribble drive, Gorbett, offensive rebound, and she'll go to the line for the three-point play with 1.7 left on the clock.
Yeah, and tonight is obviously Addie Gorbett's night. The senior averaging about 10 points per game, and again, right there with O'Brien and Burkle. She is just that stretch forward again, creates so many opportunities for them offensively and cleans up defensively on the boards.
And she gets her 9th point in the evening. And Elise is extended to the largest it's been. 49 points separate the Lady Hornets and the Falcons of Frontier. 8 more minutes of basketball coming up on the ISC Sports Network.
At Wampler's Disposal and Recycling, we take pride in offering waste management for commercial and residential clients. As an industry leader, Wampler's Disposal and Recycling brings the most professional and responsive collection service in the business. Since 1948, our family-owned and operated company has provided excellent service at competitive rates. We offer container rentals as well. Our longevity in the industry is a testament to our excellent service. We serve all of Clinton, Tippecanoe, Boone, Howard, and Carroll counties. For all your waste removal needs, call Wampler Services Incorporated today. You can reach us at 765-659-3721. Visit us online at wamplerservicesinc.com.
At Day and Genda Funeral Home, we embrace change while staying true to timeless values. Our commitment to putting families first remains steadfast. With up-to-date practices and unwavering compassion, we offer the highest quality of service for your loved ones. Trust to serve your family with a classic commitment in modern times. Day and Genda Funeral Home, putting family.
Back on the campus of Rossville High School. That sees the hometown Lady Hornets up 49 against the visiting Frontier Falcons. On the steal, Pascal. Try to go baseline, and it'll belong to the Falcons. Good recovery defense from Elise Hort. She's done that twice.
Yeah, very speedy is the number 33 there. Elise Hort, and, didn't get a ton of minutes in the first half. We've seen her come in now and just making the most of her minutes on the floor. Good hustle plays on defense both times. See if she'll get involved in the offense as well.
Nora Bell, back of the iron, no good. Ball taps around, and Bell ends up with the basketball. Here's Bridwell. On the post, Govert. Horde, off the backboard, no good. Rebound by Burkle.
It's a good pass. Not a bad look by Horde. Just misses the bank by a little bit.
Bridwell on the steal. Pulls up and got it.
Okay, we see you, Kendall Bridwell. Little pull-up jumper in transition there. No problem. Nice, confident shot. 2 points.
Burkle straight to the hole. She got tied up in traffic. And here come the Falcons. The lead is 47.
Great defense by Maya Kramer on the post there. She just goes straight up. Makes it tough for Burkle to get by.
Govert off the backboard, no good. And Burkle with another rebound. Almost pulled up for three. Farley's going to try it. And can it.
And Farley is having a fantastic shooting night. Not that that's unsurprising, but what a weapon for this Rossville team coming off the bench. Just knockdown after knockdown shot from her tonight.
And she got the rebound. Got poked away. And good recovery defense from the Falcons. We'll go to the other way. In the corner, that's Bell again, left that one short. And Gorbett came up with the basketball up ahead to Farley. And is not going to get the basket, but she'll go to the line for 2 shots. Tonight's game brought to you by Dangan Funeral Home, with locations in Frankfort, Flora, Mulberry, and Rossville. The compassionate and experienced staff at Dangan Funeral Home are dedicated to providing a loving and genuine environment for you to honor your loved ones. For more info on their services and community involvement, please visit dangenda.com. Dangan Funeral Homes, where we put family first. Farley looking to split the pair at a game-high 15 and make it 16 as she rolls it in. The freshman having a fantastic night.
Yeah, and I mean, I tell you what, this Rossville team just looks stronger and stronger every time we see them. Doesn't seem to be any, oh, I got to get my points tonight or you got to get your points. None of that going on at all on this team between, O'Brien, Gorbett, Burkle, Elliott, all of those players. And now you throw in Pascal and Farley in there as well. Just an offensive firepower at this point.
Fouls on Maya Kramer. That's her second. And Burkle going to control it from the logo. That's Cassie Schoon, number 50 in. Freshman forward, also a volleyball player. 5 volleyball players. Her head coach, Lexi Shriver. Tried to get it down low to another inserted player, Ava Spear.
That's a very cool aspect of a lot of, the schools that we do cover in Carroll County is we get a lot of 2 or 3 sport athletes that play with each other almost year-round. The club scene isn't as large as it might be in some of the bigger cities, and so you do get, a lot of these players that will play volleyball together and then move into basketball and play all together, and I think those teams have a distinct advantage when you talk about, I saw a great video from, it was Emma Hayes, the U.S. women's national soccer team coach, and she said you don't have to have the best players in the world. What you've got to have is a team that is willing to pull together at the same time in the same direction. And sometimes that means you don't have the best players in the world, but they're players that they don't have to be best friends. But when the rubber meets the road, you are willing to bond together and to pull in the same direction. And that's something that makes it a little bit easier when you've played with some of these girls your whole life.
Another player in. Sophomore forward, Kinley Myers, number 42. On the strip away, Bridwell goes coast to coast, and she gets her 10th point. So Kendall Bridwell, the senior, with 10. Here's a 3-ball. And off every part of the rim except didn't make the bottom of the nylon. And a rebound by Frontier.
And you mentioned it, Bridwell having a great game. One of those players, again, and I haven't seen anyone on the Frontier team really back down at all, but Bridwell unafraid to pull up for the jumpers, unafraid to take on some post players. It's what you want in a point guard. She's having a nice game against a very tough Rossville team.
Tonight's game brought to you by Rossville Schools. At Rossville, they rank number 1 in safety, lead the county in academics, and have achieved remarkable success in the athletic, agricultural, and fine arts programs. Come see why Rossville Schools is number 1 across the board in and around the community. Visit rcsd.k12.in.us for more info, or call them at 765-379-2990 and set up an on-site visit. Foul on the floor. That's going to go against Summer Kramer. So it'll be an inbound on the baseline for the Lady Hornets. Lead was at 51, but now trimmed down to 45. Frontier playing expired basketball. Not expired, inspired basketball. Get it out, John. You'll get it. Open up that thesaurus and.
Well, I mean, I think there's something to be, gained from that for Frontier. You've played, I think, a much more confident second half, and maybe that's what happens when you play a little free. You don't necessarily have to worry about every shot being the game-winning shot. You can just play with the flow, play some good basketball, and I feel like they played a lot more freer in the second half. That's why you're seeing some of the offensive success that we've seen from them.
And good rebound by Maya Kramer on the box out. And here come the Falcons. Good look down low. And Kennedy finishes.
Again, a great find. This Frontier team is not a bad basketball team. Just kind of ran into a team that's just a little bit better at some of the intangibles than they are. They're playing very smart basketball. They're finding the open players, not committing a ton of turnovers that you could say, oh, that's sloppy, that's on you. They're a very solid team. This Rossville team is just fantastic.
3-ball, back iron, no good. And Farley comes away with the rebound. 45 seconds. Off the glass. 30 seconds. And in and out, no good. Oh, big collision underneath. Tonight's game brought to you by Healthy Communities of Clinton County, offering free navigation services for all pregnant women. A licensed nurse is available to help you with free pregnancy tests and prenatal vitamins, insurance assistance, prenatal appointment assistance, smoking or vaping cessation, breastfeeding, labor delivery, safe sleep, car seat, newborn care education. Call Libby at 765-659-6063 for more information.
I think they'll shoot the free throws.
Well, that's what we're seeing. And they're not even going to get to the free throws. Well, I will say it's an inspired fourth quarter by Frontier. They actually outscored Rossville in that fourth quarter. But Rossville just all over the Falcons tonight. Too much that they can handle. 70-25, 35-point advantage for Rossville. Welcome to our post-game show brought to you by the Willow Creek Barn, where nature's beauty meets rustic elegance. Kristen, from start to finish, it was all Rossville, but give Frontier credit. They did not give up. They only scored 8 points in that first half, came back with 25, so they doubled their output, just kept fighting and fighting and fighting, but too much Lady Hornets tonight.
Yeah, and I don't think that necessarily you can blame that on and it's, well, I don't think you can blame that on Rossville putting in, their bench. They played still majority of those starters, and I think, there's something to be said that there's teams that play themselves out of a game. Frontier is not one of those. They just ran into a team that is on a hot streak, has a lot of depth. I mean, if you take away, Addie Gorbett, Ava Burkle, and Mallory O'Brien, it's a pretty even matchup. I thought the Falcons did a nice job of taking care of the ball, like we've mentioned throughout. Not a ton of unforced errors on their part, and they had a nice job, or they did a nice job of taking what was given to them by that Rossville defense.
8 players in the books for the Hornets, and it's our player of the game brought to you by the Frankfurt Eagles. You could have gone with the freshman O'Brien. You could have gone Ava Burkle, but how about the freshman forward Adeline Farley putting in a game-high 16?
Yeah, she was fantastic tonight, and what I love about it is her first 2 shots. You see the first one there, nothing but net on those. She came straight in off the bench and did not miss a beat. That was the second one for 3. She got it going down on the post as well as from behind the arc. This was another one for her. She's really, you look at her, it's a body type like a Mallory O'Brien, but she's a much better shooter, where I would put O'Brien more as that slasher point guard category. So congratulations to Adeline Farley. I believe career high for her tonight, and she shot the ball incredibly well for this Rossville Hornets team.
Tonight's game brought to you by the Willow Creek Barn. Attention all engaged couples. Discover why the Willow Creek Barn has been voted the Knott's Best of Weddings for 4 years in a row. Nestled just outside of Frankfurt, the venue offers stunning indoor and outdoor ceremony options with breathtaking photo opportunities, providing the perfect backdrop for your dream barn wedding. To start planning your unforgettable day, visit thewillowcreekbarn.com. Tonight's game was brought to you by Dangano Funeral Home, putting family first. And by Healthy Communities of Clinton County, making the healthy choice the easy choice. Mulberry Telecommunications, your local hometown fiber provider. Rossville Consolidated Schools, achieve, learn, lead, and inspire. By the Frankfurt Eagles Post, 976. People helping people. And, of course, the Willow Creek Barn, providing a picturesque setting for the barn wedding of your dreams. The Rossville Lady Hornets extend their winning streak to 11 and move to 19-1 overall. The Frontier Falcons dropped to 2-13. On behalf of my broadcast partner, Kristen Hazley, and our entire ISC Sports Network crew, I'm John Natali. Have a great Tuesday evening, everybody. Your final from Rossville, 70-25 in favor of the Lady Hornets. Enjoy your evening, everybody.
Frankfurt Eagles 976, serving with the community since 1905. With over 900 members locally, Frankfurt Eagles offers something for everyone. Golf leagues, bingo, concerts, kid parties, cookouts, and more. For more information on who we are and what we do, visit FOE.com or stop by Frankfurt Eagles at 408 North Main Street, Frankfurt, Indiana.
Some see a wrestling match. We see a 6-minute lesson in grit. Some see a coach sending a runner home. We see a mentor guiding a student athlete into the future. Proud to keep education in front of athletics since 1903.
And little volley, oh my goodness. What a touch for the goal. Jumped over by Lawrence North, and they'll score on it. Goodness.
We've all heard the question, if a tree falls in a forest, does it make a sound? Honestly, we're not sure either. But what we do know is that if it falls in your yard, it usually leaves behind an unsightly stump that you'll be stuck mowing around. At JXN Stump Solutions, we'll get rid of that stump for good, and here's the best part. We offer free estimates, so you'll know the cost before the work begins. We deliver quality work from a professional, locally owned company with a commitment to leaving your property cleaner, safer, and stump-free. Contact us today at 242-9523